this is like a criminal. Everybody know me, they say that she go. Lipstick, liner, lashes for celebrities. And if she looking good, then you say she be. Oh, you think you know me? Probably Instagram. Reposting my picture saying you're a fan. No need for a filter, cause my beat is ill. Have you looking good? Man, if looks could kill.
Hey guys, Tatiana Ward here. It's my birthday. Yes, today, August 24th, is my birthday. Yes, I am a Virgo, and yes, I am 21. I'm not a big birthday person because I say all the time that I'm special every day of the week, and I don't need my birthday to make me feel special. This year, however, is super special to me because, without getting into detail that will be in my book, but last year was a very difficult year for me. I ended a toxic relationship, went through a major depression, just a lot. So I'm just thankful to God for bringing me through it alive, and thanking God for just being in such a better space right now, regaining my drive and regaining my happy. I mean, I've been through a lot for 21. So thank you guys so much for your well wishes on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat. The amount of love that you guys show is just awesome. With all of that being said, enough about my birthday, but I went to the drugstore and I purchased some drugstore products. So for the most part, this look is done pretty much with a lot of key components that were drugstore products. So I really wanted to simplify the cut crease for you, and it's just such an easy thing that I really hope you guys get a handle on it with the simplicity of this one. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and if you care to learn how I did the look, then stay tuned. Okay guys, so you know that I really don't believe in primers. I just kind of feel like I've never encountered a primer that really worked. However, Urban Decay sent me this whole box of primers, and I have them now, so I'm just using it. What I do like about a primer is that it will take the shine that you already have on your face away. So the perks of this primer is just that. It takes the oiliness that's already on my face away. It is the Urban Decay Self-Adjusting Complex Primer. So I walked in here kind of greasy. I've been running around all day in the heat, and instantly put that on and your shine is gone. So you're kind of starting from zero, which is good. I do, however, believe in priming your eye. This is MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. Another area that would be great to use a primer is spreading it on your eyelid. If you're the type of person who already has greasy eyes, you could spread that on to remove the oil before you put your actual eyeshadow primer on. One thing that I really don't buy from the drugstore is eyeshadows. I believe in drugstore foundations. I believe in a lot of drugstore products, actually. But you know, I'm looking through trying to find a palette that would really allow me to accomplish an entire look, and I realized that I stopped buying eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore, not because of the quality of the eyeshadows, but because they don't have good transitional colors. I personally really don't like using anything shimmery as a transitional, meaning the colors in between. So up here you have something shimmery, and then on your lid you can have something shimmery, but those in-between colors that you put right in here where basically most of your blending is done, I don't like using shimmery eyeshadows. They don't translate as well, especially when we're talking about on camera. But I ended up getting this. It is Maybelline's 24K Nudes. There are a lot of pretty colors in there. Can't take nothing from it, but you see that most of them are shiny. Yes, that black is matte, and yes, that brown is matte, but neither of those colors are colors that I want to do transitions with regularly. I need browns that aren't so dark. So I'm going to use these two colors from PULS Cosmetics. This is the brand that I keep telling you guys my sister has begun selling. It's kind of like a Mary Kay kind of thing. I didn't even have to double dip with this, which is why I really like that pigmentation, and contradicting everything I just said, but trying to use this palette and show a more full completed look, I'm going to take this color right here. It is shimmery, but I am going to use it as one of my transitional colors. The first brush that I used was Sigma's E40. This is my MAC 221. So that's two colors, okay? Trying to make this simple. I'm going to take my primer now and use this as my eraser to cut out my crease. But for those people who have a hooded eyelid, this kind of look is ideal because you're cutting out a crease where they don't have one. You want to make sure that their eye is not closed when you're cutting the crease also, because when somebody's eye is closed, you really can't tell where their fold is, where their skin rests. I want to make sure my client's eye is open and she's staring dead on when I'm cutting out her crease to make sure that I'm going above where her natural fold is so that you could see it even when her eyes are just resting and she's just normal, you know, without her eyes closed. When I'm doing my hands-on classes, I get girls who all the time ask me about cut crease. They seem to always want to use a concealer to do this, but I don't suggest concealer on the eyelid because concealer is a wet emollient product, and that's just going to eventually crease and fall into the crease of the eye. So I'm using this product specifically because it dries dry. This angled brush is from Sigma. It is an E65. Your creams spread best with synthetic hair brushes. Okay, so 2 eyeshadows and our primer, and we basically look like we have a look. And I want to use this color right here as my lid color. That is also from my Maybelline palette. Just putting that all the way across. Gonna take my wet wipe, clean up my edge. It may look like I'm being aggressive with my skin, but because people say all the time, oh, you shouldn't pull on the skin under your eye, but if you're wet, oh my God, why can I not say wipe? If your wipe is wet enough, then you won't really have to drag the skin. It looks more harsh than it really is. And just like that, we have a basic, simple cut crease. 3 eyeshadows. The basics are all the same, really. A smoky eye is a smoky eye is a smoky eye. How many colors you add makes a huge difference. But if you can get down the basics, you can do anything. And y'all know I'm feeling lovely about my Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil. It's really changing lives over here. Gonna clean up the edge of my brow with my concealer. And why did I clean up this edge with concealer but not my cut crease with the concealer? Because I don't have a fold under my eyebrow. I don't have a place that is going to eventually gather. It's just a flat area of skin, so I can do that. Taking a teeny tiny brush, I'm gonna go into the first color in this Maybelline palette. And I'm gonna use that as my eyeshadow highlight. I could take my first brush without adding any product and just kind of make sure that the 2 colors are merging together the way that I want them to. Okay, and I can start to put on foundation. On myself, I always use True Match from Loreal, or I have at least for the past, let's say, 6 months. And I'll just mix it right on my face. If this were a client, I would be mixing it on the back of my hand with a spatula. This is mine and only used on my face, so no need, no cross-contamination here. Okay, and I could blend that out with my beauty blender. It's much easier, and it's quite all right to ask your client to take her earrings off so you're not banging into them. You would hate that I never gave more to you than half of my heart, but I can't stop loving you. Oh, with half of my heart. Let's get super random, shall we? Do y'all know that John Mayer is like one of my top 5s? And before you come to me with the, oh, do you know that he's so racist and all of that, please, ladies. The man said something stupid, but it wasn't racist. It was just not worded appropriately. Because you know that whole thing where they were like, oh, you're so involved, you know, Black women love your music so much, John Mayer. Do you date Black girls? And he said something like, this is years ago, but he said something like, I think that my is a white supremacist or is a Nazi or something like that. He's like, I just, you know, can't get into Black girls. And chicks took such offense to that. And I get it. It was the wrong wording for sure. But the irony of that whole thing, number 1 is that he hasn't met me yet. Number 2 is that I kind of feel the same way. On the flip side, like, I'm not really attracted to white guys, so why is that? Like, am I wrong for that, you know? But ironically, like, the only white guy that I would date if I had to pick, like, like celebrities would be John Mayer, because I love him so much. I actually think he's cute and he's the best songwriter ever. And that's all right, John. You're allowed to have your preferences. Try to use out the words, my penis is a Nazi or a white supremacist. Probably not your best day with words. And I just kind of want to make out with him. So if I can feel that way about him, I know he gonna feel that way about me. Moving along, the things we talk about, girls, my goodness. Anyway, that was concealer from MAC, my only concealer, the only concealer that I carry in my kit, the only concealer that I use. It is literally my favorite. I have never found a drugstore concealer that I thought covered me up the way that I wanted it to. If you have suggestions, let me know. I'm gonna use black opal cream stick as my contour. So this is drugstore foundation and drugstore contour. And you're damn Skippy. You bet your bottom dollar. You run out, put it on a postcard and mail it to your mother and tell her that I use drugstore foundations and have absolutely used drugstore foundations on clients. Keep them as go-tos in my kit. Yes, even the famous ones have got the work with a drugstore foundation. Do not sleep. Blending this out. When I get up to my edge there where my eyeshadow is, it's up to you. You can leave it as harsh as you see it, or you could take your beauty blender and begin to just round out the shape with your concealer, kind of using it as an eraser also. I dig the shape, so I'm gonna leave it. Okay, now another thing that I don't buy from the drugstore, but it's been a really long time since I've tried, so I should revisit them just for the sake of you guys knowing, but I don't use any powders from the drugstore. I'm very particular about my translucent powder, honey, because it's such a vital part of making somebody's makeup stay. So that I'm going to use always Laura Mercier, and I'm just not interested in trying anything new, but for the sake of you guys, I definitely plan to explore some drugstore translucent powders. Tell me, comment below and tell me some of your favorites. Feel like I could just cut out a little bit more of a cheekbone because somebody's been so happy about life that she started eating again. She needs a little definition in that cheek. I took a matte lipstick and I'm using that as my eyeliner, which proved to be a little bit difficult, but I feel like it's because this one in particular is difficult because this formula is like super thick. It's LA Splash Lip Couture and the color is called Unnamed. And I put that on the back of my hand. I am so mad at myself for not bringing that black liner that I just told you guys about. It's legit the best liner from my Beatbox. It's crazy, I have a ton of them and I just dropped the ball on that one. But I just wanted to put a little bit of that black, smudge a little bit of black right near my lash line just to intensify it a little bit. Okay, and I picked up these. These are Ardell's Double Lash, number 201. It is a stiffer band, so you do have to be super careful. I think I'm going to put under the eye the very first color that we used from PULS Cosmetics. I'm going to take a pencil brush and just spread it under the eye, adding a little bit of depth. I actually really like this color a lot. I really, really like this color. But actually, I think what I'll do is go into the purple that's in our Maybelline, this color right here. Take a very tiny brush and connect that right at my lash line. That just adds a little bit of depth. Taking my black eyeliner, I'm just gonna line my waterline. And I think that just became my favorite eyeshadow for under the eye from PULS. I don't know if I said it, but I'd never used that before. Getting this mascara into my lashes just to make sure that they are black. I picked this up from the drugstore. I'm gonna put it on to see how I like it. Obviously, I've never used it because that seal is still on there. It's from LA Colors. Ooh, ooh. I like it already. This is only $2.99, y'all. The color of that is Illusion. Not bad at all for $2.99, and that's a big old tube you get too. Like, This is the $2.99. This is the one that I used for my eyeliner, but you could see in comparison, one is LA Splash, one is LA Colors. They had some other colors there too, so I'm definitely gonna go back $2.99 and buy all of them. Like, why not? Gonna go into my Anastasia blush palette. This one is the Peachy Love. I really like these, and I think that I might get more of these. I think I want to use the one in the middle. If I would have had a color in here that I felt like would be appropriate for a highlight, I would have definitely used it. And I feel like some of these eyeshadow kits that you can get from the drugstore have options that you could use an eyeshadow as a highlight, or a bronzer, I mean, for sure. But it doesn't really have a color that I think is appropriate, so I'm going to use Old Faithful here. This is my highlighter kit, the Illuminizing palette from Sephora. I'm going to go with this one. The two in the middle are the main ones that I use. The others I would mainly use for like white girls. One last thing I do want to do, I want to take that Pulse color, which I'm quickly becoming obsessed with, and just kind of bring it on the inner eye. Ooh, yes, I love this color. Ooh, you see that depth we just got? Hello! That just snatched the bejesus out of my nose. Okay, so that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to follow me on my backup page for my Instagram. If you follow me, you know what's going on. But the backup page is Beat Face Brigade. I'm going to be posting there a lot more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you right back here real soon.